Yay. We are live, finally. Look at the comments. Mystic Peace, Julia is here. Hey everyone, so excited, she says. That's so exciting. Okay, we've got some thumbs up. Midnight, the log, Ohio, Guavaberry, hi. I just got your text message. Thank you so much for texting me. Michelle and sending love from Florida. That's where I'm at currently. It's so good to have you and me together here. Lynn is saying hi from New York, Virginia, Naomi, Mindy, Lynn, Kay. Okay, Memphis, California. Astro Alignment says, yay! Thugs Bunny says, you look gorgeous, girl. Thank you. Andrea says, hey. Leslie says, hey, everyone. Finally made it alive on my off day. So good to see you guys. Literally, it's been a full year, almost more than a full, no, it's been more than a full year because I moved to New Orleans. I was doing the live. I don't know if I actually did a live chat when I was in New Orleans, but that's a topic for another discussion that I have to share with you guys because I don't know if you realize, but I realized this when I was sitting with my mom and talking about it with my mom, that as soon as even when I went to New Orleans for vacation, I remember my spirit calling me to be quiet, to be silent, to be still, to not make a whole lot of noise, to kind of lay low under the radar that I was going to be doing work there. Um, and that was when I was visiting. And then when I moved there, I just cut everything out. I cut everything off and I went into hyper focus mode. I was focusing on my growth. I was focusing on cutting generational curses. I was focusing on cutting curses on that not only say they were placed on me, but oh my gosh, it was so intense. And finally, a year I moved, and then finally a year later, you guys, literally my lease in New Orleans has ended. We're back, and it feels so good to be able to go live again. And it feels like literally this is how it's supposed to be. This is the timing. This is the way it should be. So it's so good to see you guys. Look, we have Aaliyah, we have Tasha Love with the emojis. I'm here for the emoji moment. Desiree says, wow, look at all the believers. Yes, it's so good. It's been a minute. Lynn says you're glowing. Thank you so much. I do want to say that I'm filming on my phone, or I'm doing the live from my phone, and the reason why is because internet is getting set up tomorrow. They're coming around 1 o'clock tomorrow to set up the internet, and after that, I'll be able to give you guys higher quality, and the videos will be higher quality, and also it'll be set up a little differently. But for right now, we're just kind of chilling in my living room before before things start settling a little bit better or a little bit more than what they already are. Tasha, yay! Megan says, I saw something that reminded me of you. I want to see what it is. For those comments that are coming through that I can't address and can't read them right away, I have Eric, who is moderating this, helping me to watch the comments. And he's here. Eric, if you're here, say holla. And then I also am going to go back and read your comments myself. For those of you guys that don't know who Eric is, it's probably because you're not a part of the Sacred Circle Tarot School or you haven't emailed me. Eric is my, yay, there he is. Eric is my personal assistant. He stays by my side like ride or die and has been for a minute. That's one of the major blessings that came out of New Orleans is coming through with Mike, or wow, I don't know why I said Mike, or crossing paths with Eric. If you guys had a question on orders, he's the person who you would have talked to. For Megan, who's asking about where you can send gifts, my mailbox is not set up yet. I mean, my personal mailbox is, but when it comes to accepting, outside mail and business mail, I haven't set that up here yet in Florida. For those of you guys that don't know, I am currently in Florida. That is where I moved. And I'm in St. Petersburg, Tampa area. I'm going to be doing a lot of work in the surrounding area and also staying true to my roots is what I'm going to call it now in New Orleans and flying back to Philadelphia. So I am now in a space where I've done a lot of like spiritual cleansing. I feel different. I'm going to make a whole other like life update video on that. Thank you so much, Alchemist, for your question and for your super chat. But when it comes to, you know, I have to give you guys like a life update. There's a lot of things that happen in New Orleans that I know that you guys have been wanting and dying to like know, and I'll share that. But for right now, I'm still settling in. It's only been a week, and I'll discuss that all, okay? But I will be taking one-on-one clients. That's something that I wasn't going to do in New Orleans. I was doing a lot of soul work and spiritual work in New Orleans. Almost kind of like an initiation process was going on in New Orleans, and I was not called to do one-on-one work. But because now that I'm in St. Pete, now that I'm in Tampa, now that I'm in Florida area, there's going to be a lot of travel and flying back to New Orleans, in meeting with clients here, and a lot of arrangements, so we'll be able to connect actually face to face. When I was in New Orleans, I met so many of you guys while I was crossing paths with you, you know, out running errands. The day that I was moving, I left and I was out walking the street, and I bumped into someone on the street, a beautiful soul and spirit. So if you're here now, I was thinking about you that entire day. I don't know if you're watching right now, but I remember their hands were shaking and they were so nervous, and I wanted to hug you, and I could just tell that they had so much that they wanted to say. But if you're watching right now, I just want to say that you're a beautiful soul, and I hope you are watching, and I haven't forgotten about you. And that entire day, it was just in replay, you know, the fact that I was crossing paths with you right before I left. And I can't remember your name for the life of me, but that the moral of the story is that anybody that I met while I was in New Orleans was usually probably not a client. I did accept 1 or 2 clients. Most of them flew in international to come, or all of them. Of the two that I did accept, they were international clients. I didn't take anybody that was from this area, I don't think. That didn't ultimately, anyways, that's not why you're tuning in today. You're tuning in to talk transit, change, transformation, transition. Did I say that already? Adjustment, energy shift, alchemy, cosmic development is popping off today. Jupiter moving into the sign of Capricorn. OMG, can I get a amen? Can I get a holla? The reason why, and some of you guys were like, Jess, if you don't look at things, if you don't look at the planets as all good or all bad or all positive or all negative, why are you so excited about it? Number one, because I like fresh energy. I like when things change. I like when things shift, because it's a change. It's an opportunity. Something moves so that something new can come in, and I like to evolve. I like to change. I like to advance. I like to move on. So, but also personally, I am an earth sign. I'm a Virgo. I feel like I say that every time, and I didn't realize it until someone called me out on my Twitter, which made me laugh. But I don't know. But it's not even if you're an earth sign, or if you're, you know, if you like Capricorn, if you don't like Capricorn, if this transit is going to make a huge change for you, or if it's going to be positive. I guarantee you, if you know how to work with the planets. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much for the super chat. I saw another super chat, so I'm going to go back and personally thank you guys afterwards. But it's, you know, I really want to grind into everyone. Thank you so much, Megan. Vibes, yes. Megan, you're in the Sacred Circle Tarot School, aren't you? You stand out. Your name does, and also your vibe. It feels very familiar. So, guys, I'm seeing your comments, and I might not be able to respond to them right away, but I am going to come back to them and revisit them later on tonight when I debrief with Eric later on. But when it comes to, what I was saying is that I want to almost grind into everyone's heads how a transit, a planet moving and shifting houses and shifting signs impacts the whole. And it can impact you for good or for bad. It's all about how you work with that energy and also your perception of it. So, for example, Jupiter, and if you guys are ready to talk about this, give me the thumbs up, because I want to make sure that we're good. I want to make sure that we're good and that we're ready. Okay, I'm seeing some hearts. Okay, no, I love you. Okay, Remy says, okay, yes, we're getting thumbs up. Okay, we're ready to talk about it. Yay! Yay, we're back. We're officially back. My neighbors are going to scream and they're going to kick me out of here. But yes, okay, we're officially back. Thumbs up. Tyrese is giving me fire signs. Okay, we're ready. Pyum, 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 pyum. Okay, Let's talk about Jupiter. First of all, does everybody have their notes? I have mine. I don't want to miss a damn thing. This is only 2 pages here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of notes that I was taking, just channeling information and making sure that I don't miss a damn thing. And I was getting ready for you guys before I get started. If you have questions, leave them down in the comments. Thank you so much for your super chat. Thank you so much for your super chat. So if you have questions, leave them down in the comments and we're gonna revisit them. No question is stupid, but I will say that I cannot answer personal questions. Don't get upset if I don't answer personal questions, okay? So, okay, Jupiter, thank you, Andrea. Jupiter is a planet of, let me start by saying this. Jupiter is a planet of blessings, good luck, abundance, gas, expansion, philosophy, and people don't talk about that enough. I don't know if you guys are noticing this, but in the internet, in the astrological world, the surface level, everyone says, okay, Jupiter's, is such a positive planet. It's the planet of abundance, expansion, and blessings and gifts. Yes, that's one aspect of it, but that's like saying, like, you are an introvert, or you work at Kohl's, or you live in a house and you like to go to the beach and ride your bike. That's one aspect of what you can do and what you do. Meanwhile, thank you so much, my love. Oh, thanks for being you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that little comment, just in the little pair. That's so cute. That's one aspect of what you do, just the same as that's one aspect of what Jupiter can do. So yes, it can bring blessings. Yes, it can bring good luck. Yes, it can expand things. Yes, that sounds positive, but are you ready for it? And the other thing that I want you guys to hear and to understand and to know, and that this is very different than what you're going to see and what you have been seeing on the internet. Not that I'm trying to make myself different than anyone else, or I'm trying to self-promote or negate anyone else. It's very important, but the entire chart as a whole that helped to make up the energy of what is that we're experiencing. And then also on top of that, it's what you do with that. It's what you understand, like your understanding of it, and what you create with that. Especially when it comes to Jupiter, especially when it comes to Jupiter moving to the sign of Capricorn. And the reason why that is, oh my God, I haven't gone live in like forever, and I'm like diving and jumping and so excited, and I'm trying to slow my roll. I was actually listening to chill music before I even got started to help me to relax because I was so pumped up, and now I'm like, blah, 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 blah. That's my Virgo. But along with the fact that Jupiter brings the opportunity for opportunities and blessings and growth, that growth can come in different forms. That blessing can come in different forms. A blessing at the wrong time can feel like a curse. A curse at the right time can feel like a blessing, and vice versa. So outside of the fact that you want to be ready for it, especially when you look at the entire chart, you're going to see the fact that Saturn has been moving through the sign of Capricorn. Pluto has been moving through the sign of Capricorn. Neptune has been moving through the sign of Pisces. These things are just as important as Jupiter moving into the sign of Capricorn. Why? Because it's highlighting that energy even further, and because Saturn and Pluto have already been making major changes. Now, most of those major changes have been happening in the form of government, politics, religion, big businesses. When I said that Saturn and Pluto were going to move into sign of Capricorn, especially Saturn, I was saying that, okay, we're going to see an emphasis and a breakdown of government, a breakdown of politics, politicians, the way that we do things. We're going to see major corporations getting toppled. Right afterwards, shortly afterwards, we saw Toy Story, Toys R Us, Victoria's Secret, Forever 21, and then also we started seeing really high tension and chaos and dysfunction and a breakdown when it comes to global politics. What impacts one over here is going to ultimately impact the other. The other thing is that Jupiter bringing it right back. Thank you so much. I just saw that comment that says, I love your Virgo energy. Thank you. My mom and I were in the car yesterday, and she was like, talking to me about something. And then I was like, Mom, you know, do you want my advice on this? Like, how can I be the best support to you right now in this moment? And she was like, don't give me advice, because when you do, you're so passionate, you're so intense, and it makes me go, ah. And it's true. I know I have that way about me, that when I light up, I ignite and I can really be intense with it. But these are just things that I'm really passionate about, and I love the fact that we had that opportunity. But anyways, when it comes back to, okay, so when it comes back to Jupiter moving into the sign of Capricorn, the energy of what has been going on with Capricorn and all the things that Capricorn and Saturn rules. Why? Because Saturn rules Capricorn, right? Why am I mentioning Saturn? Because Saturn rules Capricorn. All of those breakdowns and those breakthroughs and those that tension that's been felt has been already initiated and started up and like started grinding and getting worn down, whittled down, because Saturn and Pluto have been retrograde and then moving direct and then retrograde, moving direct, and have been making that establishment, that structure, that thing that we thought was stable, making it break down, making it not become supported anymore. All of a sudden, we start rising up as a society, we start rising up all over the world, and we start questioning, okay, is this what I truly, is this something I can truly count on? Is this something that is really stable? And if it isn't, we are going to dismantle it. Why? Because Pluto rules destruction, and anything that it destroys, it will come back and make it reborn in another form. It will create regeneration, right? It'll regenerate it in some way. So what's going to happen is that when we have a planet like Jupiter, and there's a reason why I said all of that, but when we have a planet like Jupiter and the energy that Jupiter rules, we are going to see that energy heightened, highlighted, and expand and grow even more than it already has. So, but at the same time, we're already starting to see signs of it, because the same areas that Jupiter is now going to expand and to grow and to touch and to work to manipulate are the same areas that Saturn and Pluto have been working to pull back, that have been working to, the word that just came through is advance. It seems like you're not advancing because in so many ways of your life, in your area of your life, you've been taking steps back, and it feels like the ground that you've been walking on has been really faulty. It's been really shaky. It's been unstable ground. That's because literally the foundation that we've all been walking on, Terra, Earth energy, government, politics, business, the ground, environmental issues, environmental science, politics, all of those things have been getting ripped apart, not in a bad way, by Saturn, by Pluto. So what's going to happen and what we're going to see, because now we have Jupiter. Jupiter comes through, and Jupiter wants to touch, it wants to expand, it wants to bless, it wants to enlighten. So when Jupiter comes through and that ground has already been broken up, we're going to see global changes and we're going to see personal changes. I'm going to start with the global ones, right? Woo! We're on fire! Wow! We're on fire. LH says, does that mean personal tower moments? Potentially. Most of you guys have seen the tower moments already, because Saturn and Pluto have just come in, popped a bomb, thrown it in there. Or it's like Saturn. The best way that I can describe Saturn and how Saturn works is it'll do a stress test. It will, almost like if you have a plane and you put it in the skies and you make it, or before you put it in the sky, you want to put it under turbulence. Will it be able to survive the turbulence? If not, it's not going to take off. So that plane is getting shook up and bounced around, and that's what the majority of you guys have been going through, is this breakdown. And it feels like a personal attack. It feels like, well, what the hell am I doing wrong? You want to check to see where Capricorn rules within your chart, and you want to see where Saturn is sitting, and you also want to see what is aspecting Saturn within your personal chart. And the way to do that is not by asking me now, but it's by connecting with an astrologer or connecting with me later, booking a reading. There's going to be more readings opening up in the new year, and we'll be able to look into that for you more specifically. But for right now, we're talking about the collective, right? So when it comes to Capricorn and when it comes to Jupiter moving through this, right? Jupiter connects to blessings, abundance, and expansion, but not just those three areas. It really connects to higher philosophy, our understanding of things. I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. Our higher understanding of things, our higher self, and connecting to the global, connecting to the bigger picture, connecting to spirituality. So the magnificent thing about Jupiter that people don't talk about is the fact that Jupiter really truly is, now that I'm thinking about it, no, I don't really have favorites, but he's one of my favorite planets to talk about because he reminds me so much of a god that is big bellied, jovial, likes to have a good time, very wise, but sometimes you don't see his wisdom because he likes to have a good time. He likes to laugh, he likes to eat, he likes to indulge. He's not heavy and wise in the way that, you know, Saturn and Pluto are. Sometimes we see Pluto as that dark, evil, dark shadowed figure in the background, cold, disconnected, isolated, not looking at anyone, not wanting to connect with anyone, really wanting privacy and secrecy, and then slowly kind of making your internal subconscious self kind of crumble, and you're like, who am I? Why am I? And then we have Saturn, who's very structured and routine and, you know, kind of cold, but I like Saturn energy. I've always found myself, you know, kind of pulled to his seriousness and his intensity. And then you have Jupiter, who comes through, and he's just like, honestly, like Santa Claus. So even though the energy of Jupiter is so light and so fun and likes to have a good time, you cannot ignore the fact that Jupiter naturally rules the ninth house of higher self, spirituality, and the connection to, I don't want to say the divine, but like an understanding that is innately ingrained within you. And I find that so beautiful for so many reasons, especially when we're talking about religion and our belief systems, because we're not confined to rules and structure. That's more the jurisdiction of establishment, like of what Saturn will bring, is like established, this is the way to do it. Jupiter is about this, there are no rules, there is no one way. It's a philosophy, it's a mindset, it's your actual belief. Now the very opposite of that is Mercury. Mercury rules communication, the mind, and information. And did I say that twice? Mercury is about, you know, what you can study and what you can hear and what you will reiterate, what you will recite. It's almost like Mercury is the test that you take, like a driver's test or something, where you just kind of remember, like, if I go if I go too fast along the road, then my punishment when I get pulled over is this. It's something that you remember it to pass the test. It's information that you may gain. You might also toss out in some way, or you use it like as a tool, as a resource. Jupiter is not the same. It's deeper, it's wider, its perspective shifts your entire world. It's not the information that you pick up along the way. That's Mercury. That's the energy of what Mercury will do. It'll bring you a tidbit of information. It will give you a little bit of like a tool of a resource, and then it's your internal higher self, your internal perspective that takes that information, and all of a sudden it's like, yes, this is what I believe in. This is my philosophy. This is my spirituality. This is what I know to be true. It's not something that you're taught, although it's something that you cross paths with along your life, and it will resonate as true. It's that feeling that it resonates. It's yours. You know that it's a fact for you. It's a belief system. It's something that you discover. And it almost reminds me of like how people are born into different religion. Yes, Midnight Mina says like knowledge versus wisdom. Exactly. So what we're seeing, I feel like because I just said that, we're able to move forward. Wonderful. I feel like you guys understand. Yes. I'm looking at your comments. Your purpose, yes. And in a lot of ways, yes. Okay, perfect. I'm getting comments like, yes, we understand. Perfect. Okay. So when Jupiter moves into the sign of Capricorn, and one thing that people are looking at is they're like, okay, well, Capricorn is so heavy. Capricorn is so cold. Capricorn is so stern. No, I mean, that's one aspect of Capricorn's personality, but that's probably because you're failing the stress test and because you're so rigid. You yourself are demonstrating the same traits that is that you don't want to see, or that you're scared of seeing in Capricorn, is your rigid belief in, oh, this can only be this way. This is the energy that Capricorn's going to bring. The reality is that Capricorn rules one area of life, or one aspect of your life, you know, that entire space. So when Jupiter comes in, and says, listen, I'm going to give you a lesson. I'm going to expand this. I'm going to expose this. And there's a lot that comes with that, but I'm going to talk about that as we move forward. In your personal life, well, let me start with public. I'm going to start with politics and global. So when Jupiter moves through, what we're going to see when it comes to globally is the government, the politics, how things have been run, established religion, businesses, big brands, those things that have been getting frictioned, those things that are getting rubbed down and broken down, which we've been already seeing. So nobody needs to panic. We're already seeing it right now in our politics and our government. I know that it's really causing tension and making people uncomfortable, but it serves a purpose. It is what it is. And I know it sounds crazy, but even, I don't want to bring in politics too much into it, but even having Donald Trump as our president is something that I could see that was coming, because we needed someone to create that friction. Not that I'm a supporter or a non-supporter of Donald Trump. I'm not talking about it. If you guys follow me on my personal page, you probably already know where I stand with that, but we're not going to talk about that here. But when we have this breakdown and we have Jupiter come through, what we're having is a door open up, a portal open up, and then we're having a leader, a politician, or some type of established someone or something stepping through, who is probably most likely from a different belief system, a different background, a different religion, a different mindset that seems outside of our norms. And this person is going to test us. They're gonna have this optimistic, anything is possible. Look at the bigger picture. Look at this. Like, look how we can really take these things. We can really turn this around. It's not about following the rules. It's about philosophy. It's about doing what's right. It's about doing what hasn't been done before, but we've already broken the rules anyways. They have been broken up. They have been destructured, ripped apart. Restructured is the biggest word, in some way. So now we're going to have this very forward thinking, I don't say optimistic, but they're just going to think larger. They're going to think bigger picture. They're going to think global. They're going to think about not just our country or this country. We're going to think about all of us as a whole, how it impacts all of us. We're going to see environments, more emphasis and more optimistic advancements when it comes to taking care of our environment, taking care of each other, going out and not being so rigid and dogmented when it comes to, I don't know if that's the right word, I just made up a word. Don't quote me on that. Don't tag me on Twitter, but or don't at me. But yeah, we're gonna have this mindset that's very like, it's all about, our spiritual connectedness, all of us coming together as a whole. Now, when it comes to, let me make sure that I'm getting everything. Yeah. Now, when it comes to your personal life, that's as far as I want to go with that, I think. No, I don't. I also, some beliefs or some things that you will see when it comes to, thank you so much for your live chat or your super chat. I really appreciate that. I really do. Now, when it comes to spirituality, you guys, if you're part of the Bahati Vibe tribe, you saw me when I said this. I said when Neptune moves into the sign of Pisces, we're going to see an emphasis and a focus on spirituality, not religion, but spirituality. I want to say 2 months after I did that, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, they started taking their spiritual beliefs and they started making them public. They started, I don't want to say profiting off of it, but they started making it a movement. They started stepping into like, oh wow, he's really changed. Like his identity really changed. We're going to see more of that. Melissa says, oh my God, yes, I remember, Jess. Yes. Now, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I do put a lot of predictions. Some of them are hidden, but you have to remember. And I don't like pushing out and being like, oh, I said that, remember? I kind of just want people to be like, yeah, Jess did say that, because I did. We're going to start seeing more of that. We're going to start seeing more emphasis on spirituality, not religion. Even the most strict, like, I don't say reformed, but even the most strict, like, I don't say stable, but like rigid belief systems are now going to start getting exposed for the filth in a lot of ways. They're going to be starting to see how no one is better or less than others. Things are going to start getting equalized. They're also starting to get bulldozed in a lot of ways. We're going to start seeing this in the church. We have not yet seen just that. As that is happening, more people are going to move away from those rules, and they're going to start even think it's not just Christianity, it's even things like Wiccan and being a pagan or whatever, a Buddhist, whatever. You're going to start moving away from rules and how people say that it should be, or how you should practice, and you're going to start going again. You're going to connect with the Jupiter side of yourself. This is what I know to be true. This is my practice. This is who I am. As soon as I came across it, I believed it. That's what you guys are going to be starting to say. That's what you guys are going to start connecting to. Nothing is going to be off limits to you. It's going to be tested, especially when Jupiter is moving into the sign of Capricorn. And now that it's moving into the sign of Capricorn, these are things that are going to be heightened. It's not just the fact that Jupiter is moving into the sign of Capricorn. It's the fact that we have Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, Pisces and Neptune, Jupiter in Capricorn. That's what's going on here, okay? Thank you so much, Shannon, in my life. The other thing that I want to say is business. Spirituality, tarot, oracle, those, I'm going to say that because that's the realm that I work with, and that's the realm that I work in. Those things are going to expand. We're going to see a lot of that. There's going to be people hitting the jackpot when it comes to publishing, when it comes to fame, when it comes to oracle deck, tarot deck, spirituality, creation of those things, writing books along those realms. If that's something that you've been thinking about, now is the time to do it. My pen says yes, do it. Trust me. Trust me. We've already started seeing it, but we're going to see it a lot more. The thing is that with this, Jupiter can bring gaseous people, meaning like it's people whose, I don't say egos are inflated, but it brings up upon these like Jesus, like I don't say concept, but this mentality of like, I am God, I am a guru, I am this. Meanwhile, and then they're profiting off of it. And that's my main concern with this. And this is something that's really been bothering me, especially with pick a card readings. I literally said that. I said, when freaking Neptune moves into the sign of Pisces, spirituality is going to be the next fucking trend. Pardon my French. Sorry, YouTube. Don't demonetize me or whatever. Demonetize me. Or take down my video. But literally, after I said that, and it wasn't because I said it, it's because I pulled the chart and I could see it happening, and I started getting really annoyed because I don't want to be a part of it. It's like spirituality becomes the new Starbucks. And because I'm trying to give my authentic messages and my authentic readings, and I'm calling them the same thing as other people, and other people are calling the same thing as me, I become a part of the bullshit. And I for a minute, even especially when I was in New Orleans, I'm like, I really want to pull out and not even be a part of this because I don't want to be a part of this. And we're all on the same platform. And I just didn't want to, I don't know, especially when it comes to this, I'm going off on a tangent right now, but especially when it comes to soulmates and twin flames, that topic, working with tarot, now all of a sudden everyone's a guru. Working with astrology, now all of a sudden everyone's an astrologer, when that's not the case. That's neither here nor there. We're going to move forward. No shade, no hate towards anyone. I feel like if you're called and you're interested in studying astrology or tarot, by all means do it. But don't make this persona, which is very Jupiter, of some people, and be like, I'm a guru, I'm a high priestess, I'm a this, I'm a that. And the reality is that you're just Starbucks. Like, you're bitter coffee. You're bitter coffee. But everyone, everything serves its purpose. And who am I? It is what it is. I only spent my entire life studying this. With my own gurus and my teachers and my mentors, and also moving on without them. Can't relate. Anyways, you're gonna start seeing the breakdown of it, but you're also gonna see some personalities kind of expand and explode. It almost kind of reminds me of, I wouldn't be surprised if Doreen Virtue, who was like ruling in the beginning when it came to Oracle and Tarot deck, well, specifically Oracle decks, all of a sudden, I wouldn't be surprised if she started denouncing her spirituality in the new age, roughly around, the Saturn transit, Saturn and Capricorn. And it probably was in the works for a minute because of Pluto and Capricorn. I wouldn't be surprised if it ruled like her 9th house or her 10th house or something. It had to have, because all of a sudden she denounced it, she pulled back, and her pulling back, it was for her highest and greatest good, but it opened the door for a lot of other people. And I'm just seeing a portal open up for different personalities to expand and to project and to, kind of pave the way when it comes to publishing and doing your own thing when it comes to your spirituality. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't want you guys to misinterpret what it is that I'm saying. Of course, I would come in with my controversial comments. At my first Astro Live chat, I try to hold them back, but this is one of the reasons why I don't. Tamara says she's with Jesus now. Good for her. Yeah, but so what we're going to see is when Jupiter moves into the sign of Capricorn, spirituality, philosophy is going to turn into a way more profitable arena than it already has. And even more so because Neptune is moving through the sign of Pisces, and it's just all of these influences all together just kind of mixing in with business and establishment. There's going to be good sides to that and bad sides to that. Number one, we have the deception, which naturally there's always like a good and a bad with anything, or a shadow and a light. You know what I mean? So anytime we have Neptune energy, we have, a chance for us to rise up to our highest self and move from a place of heightened compassion and connection with other people and divine energy. And then we have the bitter coffee people who are faking it and are really coming from a negative energy and coming from a bitter coffee type of place. They're bitter energy. They haven't healed themselves. They're projecting to be this guru. They're projecting to be intuitive. They're projecting this aura, this energy that they want, but in reality, it's just not true. It's not real. And they're only reiterating and reciting information that they find in blogs and on websites. Hold on. Time out. Creepy Kidda says, but so are you? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Totally different. I'm bitter coffee. Definitely not. The difference between, and I don't want to, go off too hard with that, is the difference between me and them is that I never, ever tried to sway anybody to do anything outside of what their soul has called them to do, what their purpose has called them to do. I've never told anybody that I know everything. I have never put myself in a position to say that I know anything or that I know everything. I'm constantly telling everyone that I'm always evolving, I'm always growing. I have not only I've dedicated the majority of my life to the study of astrology, to the study of tarot, to my intuitive studies. I have, thankfully for me, I've had the support of most of the women in my family that were healers, intuitives, gifted, working with acupuncture, working with energy healing, working with medicine, herbal medicine, passing on their remedies, their philosophies, their belief systems, that the things that have made them strike out different from everyone and everything else, the things that have, because of who they are, have made them a victim to curses and attack. There is a difference between me and the rest of the stuff that's going on the internet. For there should never be a connection between me and this fake system, this inauthentic message that, okay, we put out a card and we say, okay, I'm seeing or I'm hearing golden opportunity. No, you're not. You're looking at a card. There's a difference between actually hearing the voice of spirit, actually hearing and seeing messages, actually feeling hunch, having to feel what your clients are feeling and cry it out for them, be in the same, like literally energy transfers. It's like you pick that shit up and you have to process it yourself, and that person that you're doing the reading for is sitting across from you, and they can't even articulate what they've been feeling. They don't even know how to tell you what they've been feeling. They don't know how to say it to anyone else, but it resonates, you feel it, and then you say what it is that they've been saying, or what they've been experiencing, or the the traumas that they've been going through, all of that shit comes purging out. There's a difference between me pretending like I know what, that I'm pulling an intuitive message, or that I'm hearing something and actually feeling it, experiencing it, and dedicating your entire life to it. Don't ever equate me to Starbucks. Don't. There's a difference. You guys got me, or that comment got me tongue-tied. Don't get it twisted. I don't like that. Don't get me twisted. I don't like that. I don't like, see, that's stuff that I don't want to, the reason why it bothers me is because along my journey, I have felt personal abrasion to being in the same realm because I'm using the same platform. And the reason why I'm on this platform is because I wanted to give quality messages to as much people as possible without having to wash it down. And I felt like the more that I was repeating myself and receiving the same question, the more that I was starting to take shortcuts with telling people what they needed to hear or what they were asking of me. That's the only reason why I came on YouTube. I'm naturally a shy person. I'm naturally an introvert, and I naturally want to be of service in the best way possible and do as much as I can. And I could not do that without beauty and the blessing of YouTube. And I honestly believe that that is the reason why I was born into this generation. That I feel like that's the reason why I'm a 32-year-old female that was born at the time, because I don't say every other aspect of my life, but the struggle has been real. But I feel like I've always have been called to come in and to study in the way that I have. Everything from my depression that I experienced starting at a young age, the anxiety that I experienced at a young age, all of those aspects of my life have all contributed to my study of the astrology, my intense love and obsession with the astrology that was relentless. And it was not a phase. It's not the last 5 years. It's been my entire life. I've been born into it. I've been consistent. Not because I wanted to, but because there was no other option for me. It was my Jupiter moment. So when I started seeing this, energy kind of change on the YouTube world, I was really, especially in New Orleans, I was asking myself, do I really want to be side by side with the rest of this energy? And there's no hate and no shade, but there is no similarity. We're different. And anybody can come to me and say, hey, Jess, can you help me? I will do it in a minute. I will do it in a heartbeat, because I'm not judging anyone, and I'm not saying that I'm better than anyone, but we're not the same. We're the same, but we're different. Nicole says, you left New Orleans? I did, my love. I'm in Florida now. But don't call me bitter coffee. That's what we're not going to do. We're not going to call me bitter coffee. I'm 32 years old, and I spent the majority of my life doing that. Whatever. All right, so moving forward, when Jupiter comes through and opens the door, I'm supporting this. I'm supporting new gurus. I'm supporting new information. I'm supporting new philosophy. I just want to make sure that it's coming from an authentic place, and that no one's perpetuating to be anything other than what they are in order to make a profit off of it.